So this look is kind of a 1960s inspired spotted eye look. I know it's kind of random, but I had the idea for this video when I was playing with my Viseart Editorial Brights palette. So I did this look, and I also kind of showed you two ways to alter it. One way making it brighter, as you can see here, and then the other way making it look a little bit more watercolor, which is by kind of just blending out all of those colors just a little bit. So I paired it with glowy skin, some nice peachy cheeks, and a nude lip with some liquid highlighter on top. If you want to see how I did it, just keep on watching and hopefully you'll learn something. Yeah, that's it. Have fun. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also, the picture's blurry, but look at that cheek highlight poppin'. Yes. So I started as I always do using Urban Decay Primer Potion, Danessa Myricks Concealer, and then I'm setting this with the lightest color in the palette, which is, it's white, and it's white. I'm setting it with a white powder. I'm setting it under the eyes, under the brow I mean, and on the inner third. And then I'm taking that kind of small defined pencil brush, and I'm pretty much just doing a combination of these. Essentially, I'm layering the light green, the lightest blue, the yellow, and the bright pink till I get the look that I'm going for. I'm not really trying to match one eye to the other. That would be really difficult. So I'm just kind of creating a pattern that I like. You can do as many different colors if you want. You could just do the greens and the blues. Just do like the blues and the purple, or the blues and the pink, switch it up however you want. I wanted there to be a little bit of a variety of colors, so I did, the blue and the green. I also go in with a little bit of the yellow, and I wanted that pink as a pop of color, or, a pop of additional color too. So just layering it. Try not to blend as I do that. I'm just trying to pack the color on in the areas that I want it to be. And yeah, that's pretty much it, adjusting as I see fit. And then for liner, I'm taking a Maybelline gel liner. This is in the color black, and I'm just creating a simple wing with this. I'm not doing anything too crazy. I'm not worried about it being super sharp because I am going to go over top of that with the dark blue in the palette. So just getting a nice good base down, not so concerned with the bottom of the liner. I do clean that up to get the wing shape that I want. I'm mainly focusing on the top and that the color is as opaque as I want it to be. Once I have that on, I'm taking a small shader brush and going in with the dark blue. It's like a cobalty navy color. It's really pretty and it layers really nicely on top of the black liner. Just packing it on until I have the opacity that I'm looking for. You can blend this up if you want to kind of a little bit of more of a smoky lash line, but I chose not to do that. For highlight, I'm using the Viseart Dark Edits palette and I'm going in with the bright gold. It's blurry now, so I apologize about that. But I'm putting that on the tear duct area, and I also go over the edge of the blue wing on top with this same gold. You can go in with a very fine liner brush. I didn't. I kind of just wanted like a big stripe of gold as opposed to like a second wing. So putting that on. I don't bring it all the way across the lid, but you can do that if you want. I'm cleaning up underneath my eyes using a Q-tip and Sonia Roselli Water Bomb. This is my preferred method for 1, removing fallout from under the eye, and 2, creating a wing. I don't like to spend a lot of time fussing and making sure that it looks perfect. I'd rather just cheat and clean it up afterwards. Once I'm satisfied with the shape and everything's cleaned up, I'm going in with her skincare. That is the same Sonia Roselli water balm that I used under the eyes. I applied that as a moisturizer and as a primer all over my skin. And for foundation, I'm mixing Face Atelier Pro Foundation with Becca Illuminating what is it called? I always forget what it was called, whatever their liquid highlighter was. I'm using it in the color Pearl. I also sheared out the foundation with Sonia Roselli Water Oil. I like to mix the 3 things together, the foundation, the oil, and the highlighter, because it just gives me enough coverage to even out my skin tone, but it still leaves my skin looking and feeling really dewy, fresh, and glowy. So after that, that's when I go in with concealer, which is, to me, that's what covers anything that needs covering. So this is when I realized I used the wrong shade. So this is the same concealer I used to prep my lids, which is the Danessa Myricks Concealer. I mixed 2 shades, I think it was N1 and W1, and I'm blending that in with the same brush I did my foundation with. And then I'm going to go over that again with my fingers just to make sure it's blended out fully. Once I'm happy with that, I'm blending out underneath my eyes with my fingers again before I set. I do that to make sure that I'm not going to be setting any creases. You know, the powder's going to either, once you set, that's how it's going to look. So make sure you blend out any creases first and then set your under eyes. I did that. I set that in the T-zone, and then I'm going in with a Ben Nye cream blush palette. I'm using the kind of peachy color and then the pinky color next to it. And I'm kind of trying to do the same almost watercolor style technique on my cheeks too. So I'm just layering those two colors on the cheeks, going up the temples and into the forehead area. I wanted to give kind of a flushed look, not anything too intense. I didn't want a lot of color, but I wanted to kind of spread the color out and pan it out, and I wanted there to be the nuances and the different tones and shades. I did also apply some of the blush to my nose, and then over top of that blush, I'm going in with the Danessa Myricks. This is her liquid highlighter in the color Serenity. So I applied that on my cheeks, on my forehead, my nose, my lips, honestly, pretty much almost everywhere. Almost everywhere. I wanted this to be really glowy. And this is a really pretty color too. It's kind of like a pinky, bronzy tone to it. So once I've done that, now I'm finally going to be blanking out my lips. I wasn't sure what I was going to do for my lips, so that's why I didn't do this at the beginning. But if you know you want to do a nude lip, you can blank out your lips while you're doing your foundation, instead of having to go in a second time for them. But after doing that, I'm taking, this is Face Atelier lip liner in the color Sand, and I'm lining the edges of my lips, and I'm not bringing it all of the way in because I wanted to do a little bit of an ombre. I did overline my lips a little bit, a little too much, so I go in and I think I fixed that. But I topped that off with that same Danessa Myricks liquid highlighter in Serenity to give it a nice, really pretty sheen and shimmer. And once I've done that, I'm taking the same blue I used for the wing and applying that kind of a harsh line under my eyes. And then I followed that up with a Melt Cosmetics liner. Once I'm done with that, I'm taking a Thrives Cosmetics. This is like a shimmery nude pencil, and I'm putting that in the waterline. I'm going to follow it up with a couple of really good coats of mascara. Again, I'm going for that 1960s inspired look, so I've got, you know, that harsh eyeliner under the eyes, a lot of mascara, and then that nude lip. All you just saw me doing for brows was take a little bit of brow pomade, rub that in a spoolie, and then brush that through my brows. I didn't do anything else. I didn't use a pencil or brush to do it. I just kind of threw it on with the spoolie. And now for lashes, I'm going in just with a couple of little clusters. I think I did 2 per eye in the outer corners. I didn't want to go in with a full lash look, although you definitely could. I kind of wanted it to look a little bit kind of like the theatric 60s look, you know. But a lot of times they didn't always do full strip lashes. They just did a couple of clusters here or half a lash there. So that's what I wanted to do. Just give a real fluttery look to the outer corners. And then I cleaned up that lip line, as I said. And that was the first version of this look done. It's really fun, and you can change up the colors and customize it. And if you want to make it look even more dramatic, you can do what I'm doing now, and that's going in with basically like a second and or third layer of those colors. So instead of applying them softly, I'm going in with more of the shadow over what I laid down before. That way it's really very noticeable and it's very bright. And this would be really, really fun to do with different color schemes too. I think something like this would look beautiful doing more. I think I heard a kid. I think that's what that was. Something like this would look really pretty, I think, using more peacock colors. I might end up doing another video showing the same technique, but with those more traditional peacock or mermaid colors would look really nice. So that's what I did, and then I wanted to brighten up that highlight in the inner corner. So instead of going in just with more gold, I actually went in also with more of the yellow in the palette because it's a very bright yellow. So I applied it there. I applied a couple more spots of it. And what did I do? Did I do anything else? 1 minute. Oh yes, I also applied a stripe of the yellow underneath the blue wing. That would also look cool if you did that with the pink, but I wanted it to be a little bit more subtle than that. Obviously, I'm fair-skinned, so the yellow is noticeable, but it's not so in your face. You know, you don't notice it right away. And then for kind of the third variation of this, I'm just taking a big fluffy brush and pat, 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 pat. I'm not swiping because I don't want to blend the colors together. I'm only tapping with the brush, as you see me here doing, to diffuse everything. I don't want to blend it together though. If you just started swiping back and forth and really blending like that, I think you would just end up with a muddled mess of color as opposed to what you see here, which almost has kind of a watercolor look. And now to add more drama elsewhere, I'm taking that same gold that I used on the inner corner on that big fluffy brush, and I brought that up into the inner third of the eye and also into that eyebrow. And I'm putting that gold as a highlighter on top of my cheekbones and on the bridge of my nose to tie in with what you see on the eyes. Then you'll just want to set your face and you'll be done. This is the look. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I'm really excited to try the technique with different color schemes. So if you recreate it, please let me know and tag me on social media. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe. All that jazz helps a bunch. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Have a good day. Bye.